Hello friends, welcome to the series of automobiles. In this series, we are going to discuss about the general classification of the cars and the market segment classification of the cars. So, these series are bought by Team Kart and I'm your host Abdul Hamid. So, before starting the topic, I want to just clear general classification of cars is done by the basis of the body structure or body shape of the car. So now moving to the general classification of cars, there are 14 type of cars. One is a convertibles, coupe, crossover, hatchback, luxury cars, MUVs, notchback, wagon, minivan or van, sedan, SUV, sports car, supercar and hypercar. So now I'll be giving a brief definition about each car and how they look. So, what is a convertible? According to the definition, convertibles are those vehicles that can convert from being open to being completely closed. Actually, these cars have a roof over them that can convert at any time from being an open to an closed car. For example, here in this picture, we guys get to see the cars trying to convert a roof over itself, and this is being done by a driver. The driver has an access to the dashboard in which he can control the roof by the roof modes. So whenever he wants to have a roof over him, he just switches on the roof mode, and whenever he doesn't want, he can switch off the roof mode. By doing so, the mechanism in the roof helps the car to open the roof or close the roof. So these are the general pictures of a convertible car. So now the other topic, coupe. What is a coupe? Coupe is a closed body style two-door car with seating capacity of generally 2 or 4 seats placed in 2 plus 2 configurations. That means the rear type are only 2 seats and are also small than the average ones. Often sporty in nature, these cars can be a 2-box style or a 3-box style. These cars have a conventional trunk or a sloping back with an attached rear cargo hatch that open upwards. So friends, a coupe is a car is a actually is a two-seater car, but it even provides a 2 plus 2 configuration, but this car is a very compact one with only two doors. So it has a cargo or a cargo trunk at the back or at the rear side. But conventionally these scopes have a very less cargo space. So these are meant for mostly in the urban transportation or intercity transportation. So how does a coupe look like? So we get to see a coupe cars. Yeah, I have put 4 cars over here. So this one is a Nissan, a Lamborghini Aventador was placed, and it's an example how a coupe looks. But even here we even have a on the top of the car we have an additional trunk which is aerodynamically designed to match the car's top speeds. So this is a Mercedes one, and, and these are the coupe cars. Actually, these are sporty looking cars, and they're somewhat expensive even. So now we'll be moving to the crossover. So what is a crossover? Actually, crossover is a hybrid version of a SUV and a wagon. So what is a SUV? SUV is a sports utility vehicle, and what is a wagon? Wagon is a vehicle that has its roof extended over the cargo at the rear end so that it can provide more cargo space and at the same time larger interiors. So this crossover has the characteristics of both a wagon car and a sports utility vehicle or an SUV. So how does a crossover look like? So these are the crossovers. In these crossovers you can see a Jeep over here, Jeep Compass, and a Jaguar, next a Kia, and also Volvo. These are the crossovers, commercially launched crossover cars in the automobile world. So now we'll be talking about the hatchback. So what is an hatchback? Hatchback is a car uh, which is on the list of every car enthusiast. For example, in day-to-day reality, we may go to a lot of places, that may be a campsite, that may be an office, otherwise other kind of activity-based places. So we may need to carry a lot of cargo with us. So hatchbacks help us a lot in such a kind of activity. Maybe it may be a hilly region or an urban transport, an urban place, or a city or a countryside. By doing so, these hatchbacks look like the cars given over here. You can see an hatchback over here. So hatchbacks are actually 5-door cars, and this car, what happened, you can see that it has 4 doors for the passenger, and the fifth rear door is for the cargo. So you can here observe a lot of cargo space in the car, so that uh, it can help in accommodating camp uh, camp activities, even some kind of fun activities. Some people carry shooting equipment in these kind of cars. Some people like to carry tents and other kind of trekking activities. So this car helps in kind of doing such a kind of thing. Actually, these cars are also called as city cars, mostly used in urban transportation and countryside transportation. So, what are luxury cars? Luxury cars are vehicles which maintain a lot of luxury in them. Luxury in the sense they have a very luxurious interiors in them, offering passenger a comfort ride at a higher speeds. So, we are going to see how the luxury cars look. So, the best example for the luxury car the best example for the luxury car is the Rolls Royce and also the Bentley over here. And you can see the interiors of luxurious cars. You can see how many kind of monitors for the personal experience of the customer he has in the luxurious car. So even luxury car even matches with the aesthetics, and it has complete top speed, complete ride. It gives a decent look to the person who is owning it. So what is an MUV? Multi-utility vehicle, shortened as MUV, is a type of automobile that is identical in shape to a van and is designed for personal use. The vehicle is typically based on a mid-sized car or minivan platform. These vehicles are as useful as SUVs with similar ride. Though from a construction point of view not very robust, MUVs have a seating capacity of at least 7 passengers and are more comfortable than a crossover. For groups of that size, these cars also offer enough carry space. Actually, as the name suggests, multi-utility vehicles are for a lot of utilities like transportation of public and also transportation of some cargo. So these cars help in most cases in the professional world, and these are mostly used to transport, like some MUVs are used as an ambulances that transport patients to the hospital. Some use it for filming, uh, if a movie is going on, some crew carry their cameras or other kind of activities other kind of activities instruments in these multi-utility vehicles. Other best example for is that uh, news reporters having their vehicles are actually multi-utility vehicles. In these vehicles they carry their complete crew instruments like cameras, other kind of uh, mics and so on. So you can see the multi-utility vehicles over here. So the best example for stating a multi-utility vehicle is an Ertiga, Suzuki Ertiga over here, and we also have a Tata Era over here, Datsun Go, and a Kia Carnival. So now we will be discussing about the notchback. Actually, before telling what a notchback is, I will be clearly stating what is a three box car. Three box cars are actually cars. Uh, Here in this picture, you guys can see a three box car. The green part of the car is called as the engine box, while the red or the brownish color part of the car is called as the passenger box, while the rear end of the car, which is in blue color, is called as the cargo box. So in this three box style, a car the you can see the roof of the car is completely parallel to the ground, and also the boot door of the car is also parallel to the ground, and also the bonnet on the front side of the car is also parallel to the ground. This is the important point or a specialty of a notchback. It's the since due to this parallelism, this car is called as a notchback car. So you guys can see how a notchback looks. So this is a notchback, this is a notchback, this is a notchback. Now we'll be discussing what is a sedan. So before stating sedan, by definition I want to tell that one of the most popular vehicles available in the market today is a sedan, because most people love to have a sedan because of its features and also its availability and affordable price. By definition, sedan is a car with two full rows of seats and four doors. It is roomy, comfortable car with ample room for 5 adult passengers, including a driver. This feature of a sedan to carry almost 5 passengers from medium to large makes it a popular choice among people. The sedan has a fixed roof that is full height up to the rear window. The word sedan is believed to be derived from the southern Italian dialect sedia, that means chair. It was the 1899 Renault Voret Type B that first uses this configuration, and Speedwell sedan, launched in 1911, was the first closed car with the seating capacity of 4 people that used the word sedan. Today, almost every automaker keeps a line of sedan style cars in its production. As it is the most popular car body type, this body type of car is quite popular and long running, as it provides a good balance of cost, comfort, efficiency. They offer a wide range of cost and performance. Like hatchback, sedans do not have a extra trunk with the cargo space. Some examples of sedan are Toyota Corolla, Honda Accord, Mercedes E500. So this is what a sedan looks like. So here we have a Honda Civic. Next to it is a Hyundai Verna, and it's a Tata sedan concept which is being under development. So now we'll be talking about SUVs. SUVs are sport utility vehicles. Is a type of passenger vehicle which possesses passenger carrying and load pulling abilities with the efficiency of a pickup truck. In some countries, SUVs are known as off-roader or four-wheel drive or 4 into 4. It is a belief that SUVs are descendants of commercial and military vehicles such as the Jeep and Land Rover. The squarish design in many SUVs is a little bit due to the Jeep. Early SUVs are meant to be practical and a means to carry all passengers or cargoes. SUVs uses a body on frame design, that means the body and frame are built separately and then placed together. Actually, SUVs possess the abilities of a sport vehicle and also the abilities of a pickup truck. Hence, this is a crossover. It's a hybrid version of a complete pickup truck and at the same time a sports vehicle. So it was named as a sports utility vehicle. Mostly these cars are well known for their off-road activities and also they are also termed as the 4x4. So now we are moving on. Before that, we can see the pictures of the SUVs. So this is an expensive SUV from Lamborghini. Right to it, we have a Scorpio. We have a Ford Fortuner and a Aston Martin over here. So now we are going to talk about wagon. So what is a wagon? Actually, by definition, they are called as a station wagon or a estate or only wagon. So wagons follows a body style which has an interior that is extended to the back and comes usually with an extra seat or luggage compartment. Derived from a horse-drawn vehicle, the wagon is name is used for the cars that display a sharp level of utility. These vehicles were very popular among families during 1950s through 70s. Actually, wagons are called as family vehicles because they can accommodate a lot of people in them. Mostly around 7 people can be accommodated in a wagon. At least 7 people can be accommodated in a wagon. So how to determine it is a car is a wagon? So the answer is very easy. To determine whether a car is a wagon or not is that the roofline of the wagon continues past the rear doors. A wagon offers everything from an all-wheel drive, a roomy interior, a rugged off-road ground clearance, abundant technology, to turbo diesel torque and efficiency. Occasionally, this term is used to refer passenger vans. Some popular examples for station wagons are Volkswagen Jetta, Sportswagen, Ford Flex, Subaru Outback. So these are the pictures of a wagon car. So you can see a Wagoner over here, an Audi wagon, so on. So now we will be discussing about van or minivan. So by definition, it is the most common type of vehicle used for transporting mainly goods or people. It is generally covered and is nearly cubical in shape, longer and higher than cars, but smaller than trucks. Cargo barriers generally fit between the front seats of many vans to prevent injuries caused by sudden deceleration, or rolling over of cargo. Sometimes, doors are fitted with cargo barriers that allow drivers to pass through the cargo compartment of the vehicle. The word van for the vehicle has arrived as a contradiction to the word caravan. According to the early definition, van it is it is a covered wagon used for transporting goods. So now we'll be seeing how a van looks like. These are the vans of recent generations which were being commercially launched in the markets. So now we'll be discussing about sports cars. So sports cars by definition symbolize wealth, lavish lifestyle and youthfulness. These are generally two-seater, two-door that offer a well-balanced chassis, a light engine with high gears, accurate steering and steady braking. The exact predecessor of a modern day sports car was the German 1901 Mercedes that possessed a 5.9 liter engine. So sports cars uh, are a complete what we can say is that they maintain a top speeds, and at the same time these cars uh, these cars have an abundance of power, agile steering, luxurious interiors, and sports cars have been always been a blast to drive. So the so now we'll be seeing how the sports cars look like. So now we'll be talking about the supercars. So what is a supercar? Supercar is a term which is applied for high performance, expensive and technologically advanced vehicles that use new fuel resources, lightweight materials to produce immense horsepower. In general, the term is used for ultra high end exotic automobiles that are a perfect blend of engineering, performance and styling. So, these kind of supercars are really expensive because of their advanced technologies used in the car and also the lightweight materials used for the fabrication of the car. By doing so, these cars can achieve a top speed which can be expected more than a sports car. Now we will be discussing about hypercar. Before that, we are going to see the pictures of a supercar. So Lamborghini, Ferrari, Ford, Kia, these are all having kind of supercars with them. What is a hypercar? So a more recent term for the high performance sports car is hypercar. So what is the high performance these sports car produce is they produce even a more top speed than a supercar, and they are exclusive cars which are brought into production uh, as very limited as from one piece to at least 100. That's to a maximum of 100. Such a kind of cars are called as hypercars. Most of these hypercars use a specialized hybrid drivetrain systems to boost their speeds, increase their top speed to a most. So these are the hypercars, and you can see a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg Agera, and also a Ferrari. These cars are well known for their stylish design and also for their top speeds. These cars mostly reach top speeds up to 303 miles per hour, around which is around 500 kilometers per hour, so on. So not only based on the body shape, there is a other classification based on the weight of the car, and this is a kind of general classification. Mostly weight of the car is neither considered, but some countries consider the weight of the car. So how do they consider is that in case of passenger cars, the subsets are like following. Light cars weigh up to 1600 kg, whereas medium cars weigh between 1601 kg to 2300 kg. Heavy cars are those cars that tip the scales at 2301 kg and above. Okay, so now when we talk about the utility vehicles, they weigh up to 2700 kg around, and some weigh between 2701 kg to 4300 kg. These kind of cars are typically sports utility vehicles and mostly MUVs, which are also the multi-utility vehicles. So let's talk about the European classification. Why European classification is that European classification has scrutinized its car types into a a very bit more. Why? Because you can pause this video and just read this matter which has been typed over here. uh, we have a lot of classifications over here. You can understand everything like super mini and subcompact and compact. You can see the difference between subcompact and compact, and also the super mini. By stating this, European classification is a very highly scrutinized classification which is done on the cars. They give a personalized requirement according to the customer. It is based on the market segment over the European, and these are the similar standards which are being followed by the USA, or the US classification. According to the US's classification of cars, US's classification of cars is similar to this kind of classification, but they are somewhat little scrutinized more than the not more than the European classification. So mostly, if you want to know a lot more about cars, you need to go through the European classifications, because they are completely scrutinized one, and you can know which type of classification a car can go under. So we'll be talking about the topic about market segment classification. So regarding market, in the market, they classify the cars on the basis of the body shape, on the basis of their dimensions, on the basis of their performance, and on the basis of their fuel economy. So when it comes, most of the countries opt to classify the car basis on their dimensions and performance. So we'll be starting with the classification. In this market segment classification, industries have classified the cars into segments which are named with A, B, C, D, E, F, J, M, S, so on. So first we'll be talking about the microcar. Microcars and their Japanese equivalent is called as a kei car. Actually, it's an origin from Japan. So microcars are very smallest cars in the category of automobiles. They're generally two-seater cars or single-seater car, mostly EVs, or having engines of around 600 cc to 700 cc, or more below than 600 cc. So these cars may have three wheels or also four wheels, and these cars are generally called as quadricycle. So now we'll be starting with the A segment car. In the European classification or the USA classification, A segment car is a city car or a mini compact car which has a very less environmental impact when compared. So these cars have a very less cargo space and also very less passenger room. These are very compact in their design. So examples are Fiat 500, Hyundai i10, Toyota Aygo, so on. Now we'll be talking about the B segment, super mini or subcompact. So while speaking about B segment cars, these cars have a reasonable cargo volume which is between 85 to 99 cubic feet, which is approximately 2410 to 800 liter of cargo volume. And examples of these subcompact cars are Chevrolet Aveo, or which is also called as the Chevrolet Sonic, Hyundai Accent, Volkswagen Polo, so on. Now we will be discussing about the C segment cars. C segment cars are also called as the small family or compact cars. Actually, these C segment cars have a more dimension, means their length is a bit increased than the B segment cars, which help them in increasing their cargo volume of up to 100 to 109 cubic feet. Example for C segment cars are Honda Civic, Toyota Auris, Renault Megane. When it comes to D segment cars, which are also called as large family or mid-size, these cars are even more lengthier than the C segment cars, and they have a cargo volume of up to 110 to 119 cubic feet. Actually, the segment of the cars is based on the dimension of the car. As the segment increases, increases, the dimensions of the cars also increase, and with the dimension of the car increase, you can have a very large cargo volume. Means your cargo volume also starts increasing, your passenger room or the passenger cabin, which is meant for the driver and the passenger, also increases. Passenger or the driver also can have a very good leg space for uh, for the brakes, acceleration and clutch, so on. So examples for the D segment cars are Chevrolet Malibu, Ford Mondeo, Kia Optima. Now we'll be talking about the E segment cars. Actually, E segment cars are for the executive cars or the full size cars. These cars are more lengthier than the D segment cars, and also these are some kind of non-luxury cars. These cars are the second largest category in Europe for passenger cars, which are usually luxury, which are a kind of usual luxury cars. Means these are kind of entry level luxury cars. Examples are Chevrolet Impala, Ford Falcon, Toyota Avalon. You have a Ford Falcon over here in the image. So now we'll be just as the time is running out, we'll be discussing about the other segments in a very short format, which is the F segment car. F segment car is meant for the luxury cars. Before that, we have discussed about the E segment cars. Actually, E segment executive cars are called as the entry level luxury cars, as they have very limited luxury in them, whereas the F segment cars are completely luxurious. When it comes to S segment, these S segment cars are supercars or hypercars. These are completely off sports mode. These cars offer complete luxury and at the same time the top speeds, and these cars are classified on their performances, on their engine performances and their top speeds. While as the M segment cars, when it comes to M segment cars, it is dependent on the utility the vehicle is used for. It may be a multi-purpose vehicle or minivans or vans. J segment cars are for the SUVs or the sports utility vehicles. So the market segment of this car ends over here. Now we'll be talking about the Indian market segment. So apart from the European and USA market segment, Indian market segment is a very simplest kind of market segment. It has a segment, B segment and SUV segment. Just three segments, and in that A segment it is further classified into 6 segments. In these 6 segments, they are namely called as A1 segment, A2 segment, A3 segment, A4 segment, A5 segment and A6 segment. This Indian market segment is decided from the SIAM or the Society of Indian Automotive Manufacturers. Classification of the car segment in India. Actually, this car segment in India is being classified, or the A segment is classified on the basis of their length of the car, whereas the B segment is based on the utility of the car, and SUV segment is based on the SUVs. So A1 segment is for the mini. So mini cars scale up to a length of 3400 mm, whereas an A2 segment car, which is called as a compact, scales up to scales in between 3401 to 4000 mm, which are Alto, Wagner, Gen, I10, I20, Shift, etc. When whereas A3 segment, it is called as the mid-size, and this scale between 401 to 4500 mm. City, SX4, Desire, Logan, Ascent, Fiesta, Verna, etc. So when it comes to the A4 segment, these cars are called as the executive. So in this executive segment, these cars scale up to 4501 mm to 4700 mm. So this executive class of car or mid-size compact mini were primarily discussed in the European standards and USA standards, while as the A5 segment is a premium car which has a which scales between 4701 to 5000 mm. These cars are actually called as a Camry, E-Class, Accord, Sonata, Laura, etc. Now comes the A6 segment. In this A6 segment, these cars are completely luxurious, and these cars' lengths are above 5000 mm. Example are Mercedes S-Class, BMW 5 Series, etc. Now when it comes to the B segment, it is further classified into two segments, B1 segment and namely B2 segment. So B1 segment is for the vans, while B2 segment is for the MUVs or MPVs. MUVs or MPVs like Innova, Teresa, Tavera, etc. So now when it comes to the SUV segment deals with the SUVs like CRV with Vitara, etc. And those kind of SUVs like Scorpio, Jaguar, Land Rover, so on, etc. This kind of India market segment is the simplest kind of segment, which is based on the performance of the cars, and at the same time the dimensions of the cars are also considered. In the A segment, the dimensions of the cars were considered. In the B segment, utility was considered, and the SUV segment, the performance of the cars was considered. Performance and the type of the car was considered. So when it comes to the Indian classification of cars based on body shape, actually one box is a car which is which is a van. Actually vans do have their engine, passenger and cargo space in a single cuboidal structure. As vans are in a shape of cuboidal structures, the entire three boxes are in the same are collinear, so these three boxes can be considered as a single box, which is called as a one box, and they are vans or MPVs, multi-purpose vehicles. So when it comes to two box cars, it's a hatchback. Actually hatchbacks are five-door cars, and in this five-door cars you can two box car hatchbacks are five-door cars, and in this five-door cars you can see them as the engine part at the front side, and the passenger and cargo box has the same box. The engine box and the cargo and come passenger box is a complete combined box over there. So there are only two boxes, so it is called as a two box system or a two box car. When it comes to three box car, sedan, saloon or notchback, actually we discuss notchback. Why it is called as a three box car? Because it has an engine box at the front of the car, a passenger box in the middle of the car, and the cargo box at the rear end of the car. Later on, the estate or station wagon type cars, and the SUV cars or sports utility vehicles. The last one is the semi notchback. Actually, semi notchback is a sedan like car which has its windshield that can rear windshield that can be opened up with the boot door. when uh, it provides an easy access to the cargo inside the car. By doing so, we even have a lot of space for the cargo in the car. When you pull up the boot door opens with the windshield itself. While as in a sedan, the rear windshield is completely fixed and only the boot door opens. So there is a very less space which is in between the boot door and the rear end of the car. So this is the general classification and the market segment classification and also the Indian classification of the cars. So now it's time to choose car wise. So you guys need to choose a car very wise. As for this video has been intended for the car enthusiasts and beginners and also mechanical engineers who are studying the classification of cars and the basics of automobile or automobile engineering. So uh, when it comes to how to choose a car, most of the cars being chosen on the basis of their transportation purposes, maybe an urban transportation or a interstate transportation or a intercity transportation. While interstate transportation or intercity transportation, a car has to face a toll gate. When facing a toll gate, a car is charged with a toll fees regarding the car segment. So while choosing a car, be careful with the car segment, which helps us a lot in saving the amount or ending up in losing a lot of amount as a toll fees. So now it's your decision which vehicle it's going to be, depends on your personal needs. Thankfully, car brands offer many different types of vehicles, so it should be easy to find one that fits and a budget withstanding car. So this is the end of the presentation or the video of in this for the classification of the cars and the market segment classification of cars. I hope you have got a learning outcome. You guys have understood about the general classification of the cars and also the uh, market segment classification and how are they classified. So thank you guys. Hope you have enjoyed learning and also race for my next video. Thank you. This is your host Abdul Hamid and I am a mechanical engineer from Team Car. Thank you guys.